Hello everyone, and welcome to the International Racing League round 23 of 27, and we're here for the round of Florida. A few major news items entering this weekend. First off is this race next year. For those of you who remember, before 2020, the Daytona International Superspeedway held the Florida 500, which is a 500 lap race here around the Daytona International Superspeedway. Well, since 2020 and the pandemic, that really hasn't happened. Next year, they are bringing it back. It'll be a 500 lap race with qualifying races and a special event that awards double points. This late in the season, that could mean everything. It can make or break a driver season. Another major news to him is that Kaylee Zappa is president of Daytona. Matthew Evans has been complaining about leg pains after his crash in Hawaii, and as a result, Kaylee Zappa, who is the team's Swift Motorsports reserve driver, is here this weekend. Zappa split first practice with Evans, and they both put a decent time on the board. I think they finished around 17th or something in first practice. Surprised, in my opinion, I think it would have been better to put Zappa in the car for Daytona, mainly because Zappa has been, I think, doing a lot better than both Tim Korting and Matthew Evans. And Ferrari seems to agree with me, because there's a rumor going around that they are presently trying to hire her for the second car, or for the main car, for their team. Should be earning Chris Regazzoni. Viola Ling is also in contention for that ride. Ling, the 2020 drivers champion, has had was in the title hunt earlier this season, but has seemingly dropped off since the US 500. And maybe a change of. She's not going to be at the Toyota next year because DeThorne and Jewel are driving for the team full time. So maybe a Ferrari she can reclaim her former glory. Nathan Norman is on pole, and Lou Hamilton is outside. Hamilton running for the Independence Trophy. DeMarco and Pierre Lamont, row 2. Row 3, Matthew Evans, who put a good qualifying result. Jackson Storm, Independence Trophy driver, row 4. Row 3, row 4, Bo Great Daniels and Bjarne Thorne. Row 5, Tim Korting and Lou Green are both great qualifying efforts. Jake Bennett and Chris Regazzoni, Jay Smithley and Jake Bennett, row 6. Row 7, Chris Regazzoni, John Knox. Row 8, Kyle Kirkland making his long-awaited debut for Wild Motorsport. They have a technical alliance with Alex Autosport, and Ryan Rickshon is outside. Row 9, Snow White, Viola Ling. Row 10, John Nogood and her independent and Kate Tannerhill. Row 11, Dolores Madrigal and Ryan Raber. Row 12, Alyssa Baptiste, making her first start of the season, and Wesley Jewell. Row 13, Baguette Regazzoni. When they take the green flag, them and Alyssa Hart, will be the first gender non-conforming drivers to take the green flag. And on their outside is Everett Masana. Row 14, Ingy Arison and Devin Butler. Row 15, David Bison and Bel Sadu. Row 16 is Moana Kravlo and Victoria Andonov. I think wanted more, but I think I was happy with what they got. Row 17, Silly Souza, an independent trophy of Viton Sitton. Row 18, Edinburgh Lund, who definitely won more than that, and Allison Holiday. Row 19, Keegan Reagan, an independent trophy driver, and Alyssa Hart. Row 20, Lightning McQueen making likely his last start, and Hira Hamada. Row 21, Gase Bry and Jeff Reed, teammates, and the last two drivers to set times are teammates Aiden Jackson and Casper Ackerman. Rich Roy hit the wall in qualifying and spun out in turn 4, and Kyle West's engine failed before you guys had a chance to set a lap. Thus, those two round out the rear of the field. While some say it is better to start at the rear of the field here at Daytona to avoid the big one, I think West and Roy wanted more. At least Roy showed he wanted more because he topped the time charts in final practice. That 29 car definitely has something. Keep an eye out on him. Nate Orman, on the other hand, is getting the max out of his car. He's on pole, and he's taking the green flag here at Daytona. Great start by Orman. Also good start by that is Matthew Evans. It looks like he was caught sleeping on the start. I'm not really good on that part. But into the lead goes Nate Orman. Hemington cannot get down the racetrack to block him or Marco, so Marco takes second. Looks like Lamont's going to follow suit and go for third. good start by the Universal Motorsports drivers. Coming to the green flag, John knew could blow up, so the Floridian is not going to be able to start his home race. Shame for him, he was looking for a good result in the Herald Motorsports number 25. On start of lap 2, Pierre Lamont making a move on Danny Marco for second, and he might go for the lead on his team boss and teammate named Orman. I'm sure boss, maybe number 1 driver would be the most accurate statement. Kyle Kirkland, the Floridian driver, runs the Florida Series with Alex Autosport. Long-way debut, very talented. He's running near the front of the field in this Wild Motorsport car. Despite being a Wild Motorsport team, they're using Alex Autosport engines, and some crew members are from also the Alex Autosport team who crewed Ivan Carson's car earlier this year, for those of you who remember him. Meanwhile, Pierre Lamont, again, going for second on Danny Marco. Actually, he might be losing second. He's fought a second. Courting might have run on him for third. There's a Ferrari on the inside. That is, I don't know who that is. I think that's Regazzoni, Chris Regazzoni. John Locke's teammate, Tupaton Stinton, is back. He's making it through. Oh, crash to the back! Moana Cravelo is that black car, I think, who got huge air. And here's another view of it. Looks like Alyssa Batiste moved down the racetrack. Moana moved up the track, and that is a huge impact for the 94 car. Thankfully, Moana was able to climb out of her car. Batiste and Edmund Berlund, who was the other car involved, were able to as well. However, they would all 3 go out of the race. This is a huge impact for the 94 car. Berlund took some time to get out of his car, but he was checked and released from the infield care center. So no major concerns over there. Basically just some blood pain after his car got compressed, but he looked to be fine. Universal Motorsports 1-2, picking up where they last left off in Hawaii. As Lamont takes the lead. Looks like he's going to try to take the lead entering turn 1. He may actually get it. He got a great start. So did the top. So did this 55 car. Kirkland, well, did not. It looks like, and he's getting overtaken by Marco and Courting and Hemington, who has fallen to the field a little bit. Hemington, this is the first of his 4 guaranteed Independence Trophy starts. So let's see if he can already improve on his start to me this year. Lenny McQueen, this 09 car, probably his last career start. He might attempt Ohio. Jackson Storm has said that's another independent, but Lenny McQueen, 7-time IRL champion, I think he could take a break for a little bit. He's had a very successful career as he's trying to get around David Byth with the help of Devin Butler, which I'm not sure if that's the best thing. Another independent trophy is Dolores Madrigal, of course, Disney Motorsports home race. So they brought all of their main cars and their, I guess, B teams to this racetrack, and to score some glory. Though one of them was already ran into trouble. Lou Hemington tried to get past this 55 car, but was blocked. Chris Regazzoni playing for keeps. Regazzoni's yet to win a race in his career, and he's been close many times. Probably why Ferrari's keeping him and not keeping DeThorne. There's some thoughts that he might be the #1 driver next year, because if Zappa made, of course, as you can see, the 2 cars got third, now going for second. Regazzoni, Vaden Jackson going to that team. Jackson isn't good enough. Zappa's never been in a full-time car, and with Vealing, comes on board. Regazzoni knows the team better. Anyways, Hamilton takes second as they catch Bell Sadu, who was involved, who had got some damage in that incident. Sadu not paying much attention. She must put Baguette Regazzoni, the sibling, to Chris in the wall. Looks like now she's going to hold the inside line. So Bell Sadu not knowing how to pick a line, holding it, which is infuriating some people to say the least. Mainly that 88 car of David Bison, maybe Jackson Storm as well. Now here's Austin Holliday looking to get past the 62 car, poking himself off the bumper. Wesley Joel takes the points in the wall. Alyssa Hart's upside down. Kyle West also involved. That's the second caution in 60 laps. Alyssa Hart chopped over a lane and a half to try to get around, get her on the lane Bell Sadu was in, but ends up taking the 4 in the wall ends up hooking himself the 4 and takes several cars around. Alyssa Hart did go for a ride, however, they have roof damage. They won't be able to continue, and Bulgar Daniel will also not be able to continue. The points leader out early. Kyle West also involved. West will not also retire the car. Come to the green flag. We got Pierre Lamont, and the Orman, maybe the Orman might let Lamont win this race. Anyways, green flag is out, and that 62 car is severely damaged. Kyle Kirkland, by the way, is running in 5th. Great run for him so far, proving that proving what something that everyone knows about, and that he's ready for the big leagues. And he's already attacking. He already got past Chris Riccozoni. But the Universal Motorsports cars are starting to pull away from the field, and that's something a lot of people fear when they come to these plate tracks, and well, Orman wants to lead. No real surprise there. Entering turn number 3, looks like Orman's going to get it. Orman takes the lead. Lamont falls back in line. That might have been a planned move. Though Orman will get shuffled out of line later, so I don't think it was. Lamont will hold the lead. Exiting turn number 2. Here comes Hemington on the inside. Gonna go for the lead. He's got help from Kyle Kirkland, who I don't think anyone expected to be doing this well in his debut. Regardless, Chris Riccozoni is gonna have a run for 3rd on Tim Courting. Courting having a great run, and he hasn't had a lot of those. It's kind of a shame, really. Courting a skilled driver, but hasn't had the. Riccozoni takes 3rd, and looks like Courting's gonna fall backwards. But now Orman wants 3rd. So, what's the point? Orman takes 3rd. Great run on hit by his partner, because then it's going to get shoved to the back. However, Orman won't be settled for just a podium. He and his teammate are going to make a move to dispatch the 2 car, and I have a feeling it's going to be rather successful, because the 2 has no help on that outside line, as the field catches Allison Holiday, who is, I think, being a better back marker than Bell State. No, never mind. Oh, no, thanks. Yeah, she's doing great. She's getting out of the way of the leaders on like a certain 62 car. Holiday proving that how to be a back marker. However, I think the car's also damaged. She's having a hard time controlling it. 6 car did pick up some sponsorship a few weeks ago. Orman is going to lose the lead to his teammate Jake Bennett. He's going to make it 3 wide for the lead, but thinks better of it. We got Viola Lang behind them. Lang, like you mentioned, her title has charge has fallen off since the US 500, as Belle Seydoux almost chops off Bennett, which would have been bad in front of the entire field, or at least the front part of the field. And Seydoux's not paying any attention. I know she's on the series full time. That's a little ridiculous. Nate Orman running 4th now, behind Ling and Bennett. And Ling might get a run to the back straight. However, Snow Waits the 312 car. Another Disney Motorsport entry, but I don't think it's close enough. Orman takes 3rd from Ling. Coming in the front straight. Looks like he's going for 2nd as well. No, can't get done. Either he might get another run down turn number 1, but I don't think he will. Now, Bennett holds 2nd, and Jake Bennett might be focusing the lead. A 3-car pits on lap 35. Here's Allison Holiday. Well, she's not on the pace, and she's coming closer to being lapped again. I think she might be slower than Seydoux, however, she's paying a lot more attention than Seydoux. Except, no, she's not. She just chopped off the 59 car. That was close. Though I think she realized her mistake moving the racetrack. Closing her too great. Lap 36, 19 pits. It's Everett Masana who's in the title hunt. Eling's lost some talent, but she was leading at one point. Ormond, Lamont pit next lap, and then the 5 and 11 pit on lap 38. Jake Bennett will actually hold the lead. Kyle Kirkland, as we mentioned, great debut. He is currently running 8th. He's got Dolores Magical behind him and Luke Rayner in front of him. But Kirkland, first start in the series as a car that is, I wouldn't say, that is partially built by the Alex Osborne gang, having a great run. And the 11 is going for the lead. Viola Ali, who's had a hard time since the US 500, is going for the lead on lap 40 and will take it from Jake Bennett. A great run by the Toyota driver. Maybe hoping to capitalize on the fact that the 75 car is not finishing. As I mentioned, Luke Rayner. Great race so far. He leads the series in DNFs. Most of it not of his own doing. I think all of it's not of his own doing. These 4 cars of Pemington, Lamont, Ormond, and Madrigal are all catching the top two cars, despite the fact that they're running like it's the last of the race. Leaders approach Allison Holiday, who gets out of their way. However, Bennett has a lot harder time getting past the 56 car than Ling did. Holiday getting way out of the way for him, so I don't know what's up about that. But this is going to cost Jake Bennett several times and allow the second group to not only catch up to him, but also catch up to Viola Ling. Here's leaders finally catching Bennett. See if Foreman has anything for him. Down the inside on the tri-oval, looks like the 11 car's catching more lap traffic, so looks like he might get some drafting help. But anyway, Nate Orman, second place in entering by the time they enter turn 1. Nice move there. It looks like Sammy's going to follow him. As we mentioned, Ling has caught lap traffic, that being the 4 of Wesley Joel, the 65 of Caitlin Tannerhill, and it looks like the 3 car of Sully Souza, Ryan Rickshaw, the save 4 car. Teamster USA brought minor engine upgrades to the track this weekend. Minor meaning it helps them cool the engine. Prevents them from, helps them cool the engine, helps them get the most out of their engine. So apparently we're running too hot as Devin Butler has a run ahead of Belle Seydoux. Belle Seydoux is not paying any attention out there. She just chops over on Butler. Butler keeps the car going straight. I'm surprised he didn't drive straight through the 62. Anyways, Orman has now caught up to Viola Ling as they're through it behind them. Ling leads the lap. However, it looks like Orman's going to take it. And he will. Nice move made by Orman. Viola Ling, excuse me. She didn't. Viola Ling is coming back. I had second thoughts on, so I said, never mind. But here she comes. Orman falls to second. And Ling to the lead. Here's Casper Ackerman, this 54 car. He's about to go a lap down. However, unlike, the 62. Whoa. That car pushed up the racetrack all of a sudden. I think Ackerman's trying to get out of the way. That car looks like it's handling awfully, especially on the exit turn 4, because that car pushed up the track suddenly. Not a fun day for this car. He was the slowest car in time trials, so I wonder if him and idea have not more issues. Lou Hemmington's making it 3 wide, and he's gonna actually make that work and take the lead away from Ling and Orman. Orman, I think, checked out the throttle, expecting more. Leaders catch the 59 car, and he takes the chance. He takes the 56 and Lamont takes the chance to pit as Belle Seydoux causes another wreck. This time it's her teammate. And it is Hiro Hamada, caution out lap 57. As they slide down the racetrack. No, for Hamilton to go next! Oh no. Oh no. A truly terrifying crash at lap 57. Looks like Hamada stood on the racetrack, and there's nowhere for Hemmington or Bennett to go. And once Hemmington hit it, there was an explosion, and that began ripping the car apart as it tumbles down the banking. Casper Ackerman also involved. Here's Hemmington's on board. Hemmington's on the apron, and he doesn't slow down. Yeah, Hamada comes down the racetrack, but Hemmington makes no attempt to slow down. And that launches the 61 into the wall, and he would have been fine, I think, if it wasn't for the fact that Jake Bennett was right behind him. Here's his on board. Bennett's making an active attempt to slow down, but with the 61 coming down the racetrack, there's nothing he could have done. And you can see the graphic there. That was a truly terrifying wreck. We have no word on Hamada's medical condition. On board of Casper Ackerman. Ackerman went upside down in this. Kirkland was also involved. Looks like, yeah, Kirkland was involved. Tannerhill actually was the car who jacked up the 54. Kirkland had nowhere to go. Under the caution, after everything got restarted, Inge Harrison into the Matthew Evans, Weissman into the 33. Reagan piles in, and this will take the 87 car out of the race. Coming to the race start. He got the Viola Ling leading, Snow White behind him. It looks like Daniel Marco is trying to capitalize on the fact that the 35 car not finishing the straight to take a position. However, I don't think Mark is the only driver looking to take first on the driver standings. Owing to the restart and get a pretty good jump with the 312 car. Stunod dropped, who was running 4th, drops down lane, and Ryan Rickshaw. Looks like this Team Star USA upgrades are working. Roy's running 7th, or Roy's running 9th. Looks like he's making his way through the field. Marquez is going to get past the 312 car and make a run at the lead. Maybe. Coming down the back straight, peeks out of line. Here he comes. He's got a decent run on the 11 and entering turn number 3. Looks like White's going to follow him. And new race leader, car 79. Baton's Ditton, the independent driven driver, has also made his way up the field. He almost won Australia, remember? And that was his team's home race. He's going to get past the 11 car and will take 3rd. Lamont and Jackson Storm behind him. Storm, another independent trophy driver. So it's crucial that this finishes in front of the 200 car. However, he's going up to 312 for 2nd, which I guess also helps his case. Storm goes up the trap to 312, but to no avail. And we'll drop down the racetrack. Baton is going to make his charge up to leader, but it will fail when Pierre Lamont has something to do with it. Jackson Storm thinks about making it 3 wide for a moment, but thinks better of it. Entering turn 3 and 4. Looks like Lamont also has a run and may actually get the lead. Coming down the back straight. Peaks low. And entering turn 3, he will get it. He's got help from Jackson Storm at the Cadillac. Looks like Baton's sitting also meant to get 3rd from Danny Marco. Don't know how. Yeah, he will. So Baton up to 3rd. New race leader as they approach Alyssa Holiday gets paid attention. Belsidu does not. But the leaders looks like they managed it quite well. As looks like David Bison in the 88 car almost runs up the 19 car. That wasn't CD. That was Bison, not the 2. Which in that same case, Bison should know better. Red Troy from 2nd to last to the top 5. Not a bad run for him. It looks like the 59's pitting. Yes, he is. Lap 76, the 59 pits. Lap 77, this 200 pits, that being Jackson Storm. And a few laps later, on lap 79, Ryan Raber, the 35 car pit, and a Team Star USA entrant with his new engines. Jackson Storm comes out ahead of the 59 car, throws a block on him down the main straightaway. We're looking for the 35. He was on the apron. No. 35 still in the pits. Here comes Lamont. 35 just under the pits, keep in mind. Lamont to the lead, and this will be the pass for the lead. Maybe. There's the 35 exiting the pits. At least it's for the lead on track. I'm not sure where Ryan Raver's going to stick a lot. He's well ahead of the 2, but he's still picking up speed. Coming down the straightaway, here they go. Yeah, Lamont to the lead. Passing the 35 car. I think the 35 is going to stick out somewhere in the top 10. Lightning McQueen. As you see, the 35 is running 6th at the moment. Lightning McQueen, the 09 car. This is his last professional start. He has some interest in running some dirt races. He also thinks he might run the Ohio Grand Prix, but he's still unsure. Regardless, this little part-time gig in the IRL hasn't gone his way, but he still has had a very successful career as Allison Holiday does her best to make sure he doesn't finish the race, but it's just going to end up being a simple spin, and McQueen will continue. However, there are not many laps left. 11 laps, and they come, or excuse me, 12 laps when they come take the green flag, and Ryan Raver, under another round of pit stops, managed to get ahead of everyone. Luke Rainer's on the podium at the moment, followed by the Thorn, Bison, Butler, Ragazzoni, Storm, Masana, and Roy. And Ryan Raver did not give a big of a jump as we're used to be, but Orman is still cannot get down low. He's got the 33 on his inside. Luke Rainer did not get a good start as well, but he's actually trying to make progress. He's trying to get away from 13 of the Thorn. As they come down the main street, however, Nate Orman's going to have a run on the 35 car. Raver almost won in Kansas and did a great job in Gravis City, coming from the back. However, but to be fair, he's not going to be in that car next year after failing to qualify for the US 500. However, Luke Rainer is going for 2nd. The 77 car, he's retiring at the end of the season. He's had a horrible year due to Murphy's Law. However, he's going to go for a second. He might actually have a run on Nate Orman, but I think Orman's a little too far ahead of him. Dee Thorne also went second, who also has had Murphy Law happen to her, and would definitely enjoy a win. And Tim Courting hasn't had the speed, let's be fair. He just tried to take third, but has a block through on Thorne. However, he's going to have a run by the time they get to turn number 3. Tim Courting, who's the owner of this 50-10 car, is coming towards the front. Got out from Ryan Raber, Butler, and that's the other Ferrari of Baguette Regazzoni. Chris has fallen off in the late stages of the bad pit stop of the 55 part. Ryan Raber is going to go for third. Lou Green is holding second, which is kind of surprising. But Raber to third, Coursing to fourth. And looks like I think 13's fallen. No. Yeah, 13's fallen back. I see a lap car. That lap car being guess who? Allison Holiday, who I think had a brain fade. However, that car's damaged. It's been pushing up the racetrack. If they're trying to get away, Lou Grainer is going for the lead. And he's actually going to take it for a hot moment as Holiday holds up the outside line. Grainer to the lead, but here comes Ryan Raber. So the lead didn't last long. Honda gets out of the way. That car is really ill handling. Something like Balsadu, who's driving like a madman. Ryan Raber to the front. He's got help from Devin Butler and both Ferraris. Grainer's podium chances I think are out the window, but a top 5 or top 10 even is still a great result for him. Butler to second, and Baguette Regazzoni to third. Wouldn't that be a thing if they were managed to win a Daytona? They're going after Butler now. Down the main straight. Here comes Regazzoni. They're going to get help from their teammate, Brandon Thorne, who I think also kind of wants this rookie car to win here. I think we all know why. Regazzoni takes second, and now they're going for the lead. New race, no, Raber's still on the lap. Looks like Devin Butler trying to push Lou Grainer along, however I don't think it's going to help. Baguette, or not Baguette, Dee Thorne thought about making it 3 wide for a moment, thinks better of it. Regazzoni to the lead, Grainer going for second, Orman's also going for second. They're going 3 wide on the main straight, or during the back straight. Nate Orman looking to go for 2 in a row, trying to get his championship hopes back on track. And he's doing kind of a good job at it. Coming down, entering turn number, turn number 4, back straight, they've taken the white flag. Regazzoni's on the outside, has let a lap, however, Orman's going to take it. Take the lead back, entering turn number 3 and 4. Regazzoni slots in line. Now, can they get a run? They have a little over a mile left to do so. However, I think they're too far back. Unless what's his name? Orman really messes up. I don't think he has a chance, but they're gaining on them as they come down the main straight. Baguette Regazzoni is too far behind them. McQueen's hitting the pits. Doesn't matter. Nate Orman is going to win the round of Florida in a thrilling last lap duel. With literally every one of those cars in that group eating a lap. Jackson Storm was the lead car in the next group, and he will finish 8th in debut. 9th, Danny Marco, I think he definitely wanted more. And Snow White rounds out the top 10. Rich Roy, after coming from 45th on the grid to score 11th, is not bad at all. Ever Masana and Matthew Evans wanted more, but settled for what they could. Viola Lang also definitely wanted more, considering with the championship. Lamont fell off in the later stages of the race. Bad pit work on the 59's part. Adenoff, Stinton, and Reed got exactly what they expected. Rickshaw wanted to be with his teammate all race. That didn't happen. Ox and Jackson. Jackson especially been coming from 43 on the grid. Nice clumped field. Smithley wanted more, especially after Hawaii. Madrigal and Regazzoni had to make a light pit stop. And Gase Bryan, first car 1 lap down, about where he expected. With that all being said, let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship. Daniel Marco takes the point lead over Bolga Daniels, considering Daniels had a horrible race but not finishing. Masana and Aling and Orman all getting ever closer to taking the top spot. The series will return when it heads to North Carolina, and whenever we can, we will bring you medical updates on Hiro Hamada.